What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Rowdy Boys podcast. I'm Devin Zander, and this is...
Clayton Johnson. What's going on, man?
Clayton, give us your best Rowdy Boys.
This is the Rowdy Boys.
Anyway, so we're podcasting now. We have no idea what we're saying. I guess we should do like a short intro. People really probably don't care, but we're just two entrepreneurs from St. Petersburg, Florida, who are here to just talk about whatever the fuck interests us, I guess. In any kind of medium. We both run businesses, as I mentioned, and we learn so much on a day-to-day basis, and I guess we thought people might want to know about it.
Yeah, man. I think what I want to share, because it's not about me, it's about the listener, but what I really want to share is that I've been there wherever you're at now, from a few dudes in an apartment trying to start an idea to millions of dollars per month and everything that happened in between. It took a long time to do that journey, and I'm hopefully can, in these episodes, like shorten that. And when I met you, you did the same thing. And so, together it's like those, like two minds better than one.
Two minds are better than one.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can affect thousands of minds on the podcast. And with our energy together, we will be very rowdy people. Maybe not just boys, maybe some women too, rowdy people. That could be like Rowdy Nation. Who knows? That's a total topic for the future. Guys, listen. Our business is millions and millions of dollars per year, both online marketing, just so that's clear. We both specialize in marketing, and we're going to talk about really whatever interests us. But today we're going to be talking about email marketing, and specifically, when you're an entrepreneur, you have a lot of entrepreneur friends. And when you're an internet marketer, you have even more internet marketer friends. And we have a lot of sort of like beginner, novice level internet marketing friends that are between like a couple $1,000 a month to $20,000 a month. And there's one big thing that we notice that these people are not doing, and it is not building or sending emails to their email list.
Dude, it's crazy. It is literally like the thing that if you have a business and you don't have an email list right now, I'd probably stop whatever you're doing and just start doing this thing. Like this thing will literally, it could double, triple, quadruple your business like very quickly, especially if you're like under $100,000 a month. Or, if you want to go beyond that, it's going to be imperative that you have email. And it's like literally the shortcut. And so if you don't have it right now, you're just going to stop. You just got to stop and just take our word for it. And start an email list. But before we it's easy for me to say, just build an email list. Let's talk about how, how do you know that this is like such a big thing, or why? Because it sounds like to the regular person, it sounds like this is just one of the million other things that they got to do. So maybe you can talk about how you discovered this is really the thing. So take me back to your story.
Yeah. So, I started building my email list in like 2011. I just stumbled across Aweber. I was building a blog, and I was like, and I guess context, the blog was about the upcoming Kindle Touch. I had created a review website where I was going to sell Kindle Touches, and this was back when SEO was easy and all that. And then I realized, I was like, I have all these people coming to my website, but the Kindle doesn't launch for like 3 more months. How the hell am I going to make money on these people? And then I just Googled and I found this thing called Aweber, and I decided that I could put like a little email in my sidebar, be notified when the Kindle launches. It's not that easy anymore, guys. It's really not, trust me. But so essentially what happened was a couple months go by, I built an organic email list of honestly like a couple hundred people. And the day of the Kindle launch comes out, I send out an email. And guys, context here. I'm a high school dropout. I am businessless. I have this blog that I'm just starting. This is honestly the first real money I ever made online. Living in my grandma's attic, she funded my business, and I'm at my girlfriend at the time's mom's condo. The Kindle launches. I send an email, and within like 30 minutes, I made $1,200 in commission on on Kindles. And Amazon pays like 5% commission, so I sold a shit ton of Kindles.
Wow!
And I was like, dude, this is massive. I need to do this. And then every business I ever built moving forward, we've come a long way since that Kindle thing. That lasted me like 1 month. I made about $10,000 doing it. It was amazing. But since then, I just realized that email is the backbone of communication, and it's the one medium that you can really track what people are doing and kind of build this custom journey for them. So it just makes sense because you can send emails based on so many different things. And it's really what's allowed us to have, a 7-figure per month business.
So you started that was like your first realization that you had to have email, because like you can't like direct 1 million people to come to your website because you're just getting like SEO traffic. But then when you put the email thing on there, you're like, okay, when the day it launched, I can send that email and tell them about it. And then it exploded, and I mean, maybe like $1,200, isn't a lot nowadays, but when you first make when you first make your dollar online, I mean, like, and that all came from your email list. So talk about how that like parlayed into other things that you did, or like how'd you get started with the other email list type of stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, with the other email list stuff, I just eventually started businesses training SEO or training e-commerce, or we even own a Shopify theme and app company, and the easiest way to sell people things is just to email them. It's like, imagine this. You've got tons of people who are interested in buying your stuff, but you're not saying anything to them, right? With email, hey, here's a great offer. Why don't you come get it? And I mean, the strategy we used, I figured we'd get to this like a little later. I don't know, but we just like to give away free things. I mean, it's so simple. You run ads. You don't even have to run ads. It can be all organic, posting in Facebook groups, or even creating YouTube videos or something like that. Hey, if you want this free cheat sheet, you want this free guide, you want this free hack, you want this free whatever it is, something that adds value to their life related to the specific subject that your business is in, come download it, just give us your name and email, and then we'll send it straight to you. It's really simple, really easy to do. And with that, you start to create a relationship. You're giving them value before you've ever asked for anything in return. Well, I guess, you asked for their email, right? But you're not asking them to buy anything. You just essentially said, hey, here's something free. I need to have a way to give it to you. I can't ship you something in the mail if you don't give me your address. So I need the very basics. We're not asking, it's not free plus shipping. We're not asking for anything. We're just giving them something valuable. And that's where the relationship starts. And then over time, you keep emailing them, give them value, and you sprinkle in some promotions. Every single promotion, you're going to make a lot of money. As long as you take care of the people on your email list and, really connect with them and stay on topic. A lot of people will like to send random shit and stuff like that. That's not what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. You can't send random shit. Nobody, that's the easiest way to burn your email list. And then you're like, where did all my income go? Yeah. It's down the drain. But yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, you even like gave away the strategy.
I know, but I was confused.
But really, to be honest, I mean, the strategy can be as easy or as complex as you want it to be. But really, what I kind of want to focus on is, for the people that just still have not done it yet. You know what I mean? Like maybe you know about it and it's one of like the mini tricks that you're trying. You're trying messenger bots and you heard this one guy's killing it with this one thing and whatever. And you still haven't done the email list. Let me just tell you, like from my perspective, it's like this. There's a lot of places where you can contact people now. You can get their phone number, you can get their Instagram handle, you get their Facebook Messenger, all this kind of stuff. But literally everyone that's on the internet has an email address. And everyone that has an email address pretty much checks it every single day. And it has been like that for 20 years. And it very, very likely will be like that for another 20 years. If you look at all the different channels, like we're all multi-channel marketers, right? Mm-hmm. I do SEO, I do PPC, I do Facebook ads, like everything. But email is literally the crux out of all of it. If I run Facebook ads, it's pretty much to get an email. Mm-hmm. If I do SEO, it's to rank on Google so that somebody will visit my site and I'll try to collect their email. It's all about getting that phone number. It's like if you're dating a girl, it'd be like getting their phone number.
Yeah, or their Instagram for our friends. We have some younger friends that are just obsessed with the Instagram. That's the new thing. It doesn't matter. But
yeah. So it is like essentially vital. Like if I was going to build a new business, this would be like the first thing I do. I'd put up a page that just said, hey, like you were saying earlier, is like, give away something for free in exchange for the email address. It'd be the first thing that I do so I can start building that audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so if we have established that email is the channel that everybody needs, and if you haven't done it, you need to do it. You started also elaborating on how do people get people on their email list. So for the people that don't have an email list at all, what is like the first few steps that they should do to think about getting people, like building that list? Like talk about maybe like an email program that they could sign up for. You said Aweber is one.
Yeah, so I recommend, there's a few that I really recommend. Look, guys, if you're really want something simple, probably MailChimp or Aweber. I haven't used either of them in a very, very long time.
Yep.
But the program that I'm going to recommend, and I know you use something different, but ActiveCampaign.com or Drip.com. These are both outstanding software, and their support's fucking amazing. And it's made me millions of dollars. I don't know how else to put it. They're really good software. It's really simple to use. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with MailChimp or Aweber, but once you start getting a little more advanced with everything you're doing, there are tools like segmentation. So for instance, you send an email, trying to sell something to someone, and someone clicks the email and they're showing they're interested. And then you can add them to another list or add tags, which basically means like, hey, you're letting the software know they clicked a link in that email. And then you can follow up with them based on that. You can just do a lot more advanced stuff. And
just think about the possibilities, man. You're going to have all these different types of people on your list. Well, people that have bought from you, people that have not bought from you, people that have expressed interest in these things, whatever. And as you get farther down the line, wouldn't it be amazing to know, hey, you can send a promotion to people that haven't ever bought before or stuff like that.
Or people who have bought everything before. Because guess what? If somebody has bought everything you've ever released, every product you've ever released, they're going to buy more from you. So, I mean, and then there's just so many different things you do. You can just lead score how many times they click links. Are they active? Are they hot? But they're not quite over the edge. They might need a phone call or a little push. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay, so you're getting gangster now.
There's so many different possibilities, guys.
But the core of it is you have to build the email list.
The core of it is you have to get started.
You have to get started.
I don't know what the issue is with some of our friends, like these guys, smart entrepreneurs. I don't want to talk shit about them on podcast, but it's so frustrating to look at their businesses. And I guess what I want everyone to know is the biggest reason that email is important is just for consistency within business.
Yeah, 100%.
Because our friends, they'll have like a $20,000 a month, and then the next month it's like $3,000, and he's like, man, now I have to go message, because he uses Messenger as his CRM. So he's messaging every
and he kills
single
it with
person,
that too.
And he does pretty well. But he'll message me. He's like, man, I'm so fucking stressed out today. I just sent 200 messages. This actually happened this week.
Manually, probably.
Yeah, 200 messages manually, one at a time. And I was like, dude, just imagine. If you just sent one email, you could have done all of that. It would have been done. You would have known right away if they checked it. You wouldn't, because look, think about this. If someone is doing messenger marketing, if you want to see if someone read your message, you have to go through hundreds of messages manually. And if you're using something like ActiveCampaign, resend to unopens, half a second.
Well, these are also a little bit two kind of different things, because Messenger, you're trying to use it as one-to-many, you know what I mean? But it's not really built for that. Whereas email, if you're on one of these platforms like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, or whatever, it's different than traditional email where emails you send one-to-one. And this mail list concept is dude, eventually you're going to have too many customers. Is there something ringing?
It's someone's at the door. I'll close the door.
Yeah, all good.
Hey, handsome. A friend has walked in, guys. I'm gonna close the door so he can play music.
Another rowdy boy.
Are you a rowdy boy?
Rowdy boys. Anyway, so the idea of the email list is that you're not one-to-one anymore. You're going to have so many people that are on your list that are interested in your stuff that you can't contact them one by one. You're going to literally log in. You're just going to see 1,000 people that you're going to send to, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000 people that have given you their email address. And you're going to write one email and you're going to hit send. And then whatever you wanted to happen is going to start to happen. I mean, that's kind of the power of it.
Yeah.
So you don't think about it as Messenger being one-to-one. You're thinking about when your business gets bigger and bigger and bigger, how are you going to be able to communicate with all these people, and just you send one email and then thousands of people get it.
Yeah. And then if you still wanted to do the one-on-one thing too, why not contact everybody, see who actually wants the one-on-one interaction, and then get on a phone call with them? Or get on a text conversation or a messenger conversation. It just makes it easier. It opens up so many more options. It's like experiencing a whole new world, essentially.
Yeah. So, okay, we talked about how why you need an email list. We talked about programs to get started. Getting people on the email list, you kind of started mentioning that.
I spilled the cats. Yeah. The cats are out of the bag. I spilled them onto the table.
Yeah, this is a big one. For me, what we do,
this guy,
this is literally
email king. Just saying, interrupting, but so many leads every day,
dude. Thank you. But I'll just tell you the story how we got started on email. Is that we were growing the business and whatnot, and at some point the sales guy, we were like, maybe you should, get the phone book and start dialing out, and I was like, God, no, we can't do, like, that's got to be the worst way to do sales, period, is like knocking on people's doors or cold calling people that no one cares. And so I was like, what we need to do is we need to attract these people to us. When you get their information, we need to develop a relationship with them. And then, we need to close the deal or whatever. That's pretty much internet marketing in a nutshell, is like get their email address, give them some cool stuff.
It's like
and then
dating.
Sell them some stuff and then sell them more stuff, right? Until they either die or unsubscribe.
Yeah, I mean, like you want to get a girlfriend. What do? You buy her flowers and you hope you get some in return, and then you repeat the process over and over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. So getting the contact information, just like dating, what you do first is you offer some value. You're talking about this. So you don't go, hey, give me your email address so that you can buy my products. You give them something, for free in exchange that they want, and then you can continue to add more stuff. So talk about some things that have worked really good, like some bait that has worked really good for you, getting people on your list. Yeah,
I think we should take this in a more formulaic approach just for this part right here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll list like the top 3 or 4 things that we've given away in return for an email, and then we can go and see what your business has done as well.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves lists. Whoever's watching right now loves lists. So we'll go through, and this is in no specific order, although I can tell you the top 2, and I guess if I were to put it in a specific order, these are definitely the 2 biggest things for us over the years. And number 1 is just a video training. Super simple. We do this through YouTube and Facebook ads. We say, hey, we're running a video training today. There's 2 different ways you can do it. You can say it's a live training, and you can have a software like EverWebinar that makes it look like you're always live. Or you could just have a video replay or something from YouTube, Vimeo, Wisty, or something like that on the thank you page. And we say, hey, we're running a video training that will show you to do X, Y, and Z. So in our instance, we teach people how to build Shopify stores. So we say, hey, today we're running a video training that will show you how you can build a $10,000 a month Shopify store.
I would opt into that.
Yeah. And our ad is all social proof. So as I'm speaking in the ad, I'm just scrolling through endlessly of customers who have said amazing things about us, who have built their business and who have had success. And then I say, click the link in the bottom left or below the ad if it's on Facebook. And then they're taken to a landing page. The landing page is just a very simple page where you have just a headline and then maybe a few bullet points right there. Hey, come see how people are making $10,000 a month and how you can do it without X, Y, and Z. Enter your email. And then, boom, we get the email right there. And our conversion rate on warm traffic, so if it's super warm traffic, if it's like a Facebook ad, we'll get, an 80% conversion rate. Typically on YouTube, we're running a bit of a colder ad, so we'll get like a 30% conversion rate on YouTube. Now, the second best thing we've ever done is the PDF download. So this is pretty simple. Everyone who's watching this has probably downloaded a PDF before. Yeah. This one we only run on Facebook. We haven't really cracked the code on YouTube for it yet. And I think it's because when people are on YouTube, they want long form content. They're there to watch videos. So if you send them to another video as a free download or a free gift, that works really well. But we haven't got the PDFs to hit. So on Facebook, it's literally the same thing. We say, hey, so for instance, a lead magnet we ran for years, spent like $500,000 on it, got over 500,000 emails from it. We were getting emails for under $1 for a really long time. And it was just a Shopify conversion checklist. And it taught people how to...
Checklist.
Yeah, checklist. Yeah. So how to better design your store. Ad copy was so simple. We just ran an ad. It started off at like $10 a day. So if you think you can't afford this, literally we ran this for $10 a day.
Yeah.
Hey, is your Shopify store struggling to make sales? See the conversion checklist that took our struggling Shopify store from 0 to $3 million a year in revenue. Step by step, super easy to follow. Just click the link below to download the PDF free of charge.
Yeah, I'd opt into that too.
Yeah, okay. And then it's just, you go, same formula. It's just a headline that says, turn your struggling Shopify store into a sales machine. Enter your email. It's just a little email box, and then click download now. Boom. Really easy.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be like a recurring theme, but it's like for all the smart people out there, it's like you have to get dumber, and you got to make things really simple.
Grader.
Yeah, like there's a lot of times when I'm thankful that sometimes I tend to overthink things, but I also feel like, I'm dumb enough to not overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? So like I see some people, they try to make something like this, or they try to make a lead magnet opt-in, and they're just like, oh man, I gotta think of like the most genius scientific thing. And like, dude, the examples that you're giving are like just a video that teaches you how to do something.
Yeah.
A checklist that teaches you, how to grow your store.
People try to make things so complicated because they want to make themselves appear smart or something like that.
Yeah.
The number one thing to do, and we had a slight talk about this before the call for like half a second, is just give your customers what they want.
Yeah.
Okay. What do people want? In my industry, they want a Shopify store that makes $10,000 a month. I have surveyed the shit out of the industry. Every single person's goal is just like, man, I wish my store just made $10,000 a month. Okay, so what's my ad copy going to say? Here's how you can do exactly that. Yeah. It's that easy. So those are the top two. And something that we've been doing lately that it's really popping off in the industry. It's very similar, but it's a bit more work. And I definitely wouldn't recommend this for a beginner, but if it's a really great way to build relationships and generate huge cash flow if you've got a higher ticket offer. So we're running 4-day workshops. And we do this through YouTube and Facebook ads. And essentially what we're doing is sending them to a long form landing page. So this is a full on sales page. The one we're running right now is called the 4-day POD workshop. And it's essentially a 4-day training series on how we built a $20 million store. We walk people through finding products to sell, finding audiences to sell to, and then how to make the most money off of each sale. And then in the fourth session, then we pitch them our $997 offer. And what's great about this is it's a really good, profitable funnel. So you can like make, not just break even, not just gather emails, but you can make honestly like hundreds of thousands of dollars profit within the first month if you're doing it properly.
So what is this? So you offer like, hey, opt into our 4-day workshop?
Yeah, exactly.
So they opt into the 4-day workshop, and then every day for 4 days they get access to like a new. You're gonna send them like an automated email. And that's the big thing. We haven't even talked about how you can automate this stuff, but you're gonna get an email every single day that sends you to a new video, and then on the fourth day, the fourth video is kind of like a pitch.
It's like a webinar pitch. Yeah. So essentially, I just took, hopefully everyone. I have no idea what our audience is going to be like. Hopefully, you guys know what like webinar pitches are and stuff. But it's just I cut the very end of a webinar off, and I just made that the fourth training video. Honestly, like what I did was I just took a webinar and I broke it into 4 different days. So like a lot of webinars are the 3 secrets and then the pitch.
Dude, I think I've actually done this in the past too, but I just forgot that I made this funnel.
So we instead of having 5 minutes for each training section or 10 minutes for each training section, we made them all an hour long each, went super in depth, did Q&A, really built a relationship with people. And then, we sell them on the fourth one. And
so
I just want to make sure everyone knows there's actually 2 ways to do this, and we've done it both ways. And the way that we found works better is if you host this event once per month and just let people sign up for it. So essentially you start running the ads like 2 weeks before the live event, and then people sign up and you just keep hammering them with emails, like case studies of what's to come and stuff like that.
Are you talking about for this 4-day funnel?
Yeah.
So
the
4-day funnel is
live.
You run it live.
Yeah, you can, and then you do it 4 days in a row,
Yeah.
Once per month, and you run the registration ads like 2 weeks before. We've tried it both ways, and the live one just converts so much better. I don't know why.
That's interesting, man.
It just feels live because they actually have to join the webinar room and stuff instead of going to the members area or something. Yeah. But
we should talk about deep into funnels.
Yeah, we can get to that. I mean, I don't know if we have to do that right now.
On another one.
Yeah,
that's
we
what
definitely can.
We got to stick on the email.
So that's the 3 though. I mean, we've got the live training, which could be a video replay. We've got the PDF lead magnets, which is honestly my favorite one. That's the one I enjoy doing the most, because it's a lot of room for creativity. And then we've got the 4-day funnel that we've been messing around with for the past year. So that's just been crushing. What about you, man? What are your top 3, 4, 5?
All right. So first one is even like pre-lead magnet. If you don't have an email list right now, you probably actually have, you might have previous customers that you just haven't loaded them up into like a software like MailChimp or anything yet. So I would definitely start with any low-hanging fruit that you got. So if you have like previous customers or contacts or things where people have actually given you like voluntarily their email.
Yeah.
What I'm not talking about is people that have not voluntarily given you your email. Don't don't spam. That'd be spamming. So
hey, who's to say?
Yeah.
You know, maybe some people like spamming.
Yeah. Well, okay. We can talk about that one on another podcast. But start with your low hanging fruit. But for us, and a lot of this stuff, like Devin mentioned, you run Facebook ads to these lead magnets. You run YouTube ads to these lead magnets. You can even start really simply on your website with a pop-up. You ever seen pop-ups on websites? It's like, put your email address here. We start stuff like that. What I did when I started, trying to figure out this lead magnet is I came up with 3 ideas. The first one was like a video training, like you said. It was like a how to learn keyword research in 4 minutes or something, like training. The other one was I made like a really long like webinar, like how to do local SEO from A to Z. And I thought that was like really valuable. So I thought that most people would opt into that. And the third one that I made was like a PDF. So it's crazy that we have like the exact same thing.
Say, this is the
third one I made was like
a
it was like a PDF that was like the 50 best SEO tools. And I was like, okay, well, that last one I just made in like, a morning, I just typed up the best tools or whatever. And I was like, this one is not really going to be that great. In comparison to this long training that took me like weeks to put together, it was super valuable. Turns out, the one where I just got the free PDF, that one crushed it. Like way more people opt into that. When I ran ads to it, it got leads for way less price than the other one. And if you think about it like that, you're like, it's kind of a relief, because anybody that wants to create their first, lead magnet, you don't have to spend a million years creating it. You actually, something simple, like you said, the checklist can often work the best. Why? Well, it's kind of like if you go up to a girl and you're like, hey, would you like to spend the next 3 weeks with me? It's going to be so valuable. We're going to do these 800 things.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, hey, can I buy you a coffee? It's like way less risk, way less commitment. You don't have to invest the time or whatever. It's just a very small commitment for that email address. You get that and then give them something great, over deliver, and that really starts the relationship off well.
Yeah, and I like what you said there, and that's something people should understand too is MVP. So when you're building out your initial email list, when you're just starting to, let's say, run ads or something like that, you definitely want something that isn't going to take a lot of work. You just want to test a lot of things, like the bare minimum, because you don't want to spend 2 or 3 weeks preparing something only for it to
like
just
a big
fail.
SEO webinar.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Whatever he does, opposite. No, you don't want to spend 2 or 3 weeks like preparing for something and then it just like, falls flat. You want to rock stuff out in an afternoon, maybe, especially if you're going the PDF lead magnet route that I think we're both really behind here. You can crank out like 3 or 4 of those in a day. Yeah. You can make them all about different things within your industry and see what the audience is, see what your industry is responding to best right now. So don't get like an expensive designer, don't spend a ton of time on it or anything like that. Just throw some stuff out there, really simple, see what works. And then if you find something that works and you're getting good leads that fit within your price range or your cost per acquisition, then you run with it. Then you can start getting the sick designs and then maybe even building webinars around that topic and things like that. But don't blow your load too soon.
Yeah. So you're getting people on the list. What happens after they're on the list?
Oh, dude, that's where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
Yeah, that's like, now you got the girl, the first date's over. She told you she really likes you. She wants to go home with you. It's the magic.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many different things you can do. I mean, I can go over a few different things within our business. But we have a core model that we do, and this is what we've just started doing this year, and it's been really consistent and sustainable, and we've been very in the green each month, which is nice because in 2019, we lost a lot of money just testing stuff out. We had our like highest grossing year and just tested too much. And then 2020 was good, but with COVID, it was like, up and down. 2021, this strategy kicks ass. It is working well. We just started doing it, like I said.
Okay, give it to me.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm getting people psyched up, man. Everyone's really excited.
This is a marketer
Steven's
right
over
here.
there. He's like drooling. Look at him. He's got Chipotle in his mouth. No, so it's really simple. So we basically created a calendar, a promotional calendar that we try to plan like 4 to 5 months in advance. We're doing 2 promotions every single month, so every 2 weeks. And when I say a promotion, we're usually selling like a higher ticket product. We try to stick to our own products, but also, sometimes we do like affiliate promotions and stuff like that. So, and we don't really like to sell anything that's under $497, and that's even a little low for us. We want to sell $997 products. So every 2 weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to send registration emails out to a webinar. We use Demio. There's tons of different good webinar services out there, but it's really easy to sell your products through webinars because you can talk with people, you can create a relationship, you can have a conversation, and we're running those like every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but this is really important because, like, look, let's say you create a webinar. How do you get people to sign up for that webinar?
Send them an email.
Yeah, every time it's like, yo, you have to have the email list. And then once you have that email list, you can be like, man, I need people to come up to this webinar. Okay, let's send an email. Boom. And now you have like hundreds of registrants.
Yes.
You have like a new product that comes out. How are we going to get people to look at this new product? Boom, send an email.
Let's go. And you don't have to spend $1 because you've already got them all on the email list.
Exactly.
And if you try to do it through Messenger, which is, I don't know why some people are doing that right now, it's just a fucking ton of manual work.
Yeah.
If you try to do it through SMS is the only thing that's comparable to email, but SMS is, one, super expensive. It's great. It's almost as good as email. It's not. And number two, more importantly, is you just don't have the sort of tracking that you do with a normal email. But we're getting a little off topic right now. That's like a whole podcast episode. It's insane.
Yeah.
But and I want people to understand, like, when you send people to a webinar, you don't even need to create like a crazy registration page. You don't have to do a lot of things. It's the same exact formula. You just have a headline. So a typical one is like, hey, come see how Jennifer made $20,000 last month with this brand new advertising method. And we could get it a copy and all that. That's another podcast episode. So we're doing those like every 2 weeks. We run them live. And then we have a weekly schedule as well. Every Saturday, Clayton was giving me shit about this the other day because we stopped posting for like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Every Saturday, we like to engage our email list. We want to send them valuable content. We want to help them. Remember, this isn't just like a take relationship. It's a give and take relationship. Yep. And you need to constantly provide people with value. You need to let them know you do care about them. And you should want to see people succeed. You shouldn't just be trying to take their money. Yep. So every week, we're releasing free content about mindset, e-commerce, entrepreneurship, something similar to this, but mostly based around e-commerce. So we release that every Saturday. We do free content in our group all the time, and we don't really have a schedule for that, but anytime we release free content, we send out an email about it. And then we also have a sales team within our company. We have a high ticket program. It's about $10,000 where we help store owners one-on-one and in a group setting. And every single Sunday, we send an email about booking a call with us this week. We usually do a case study because, we're badass and our students get a lot of results. So every Sunday we'll send an email showcasing the latest students' results within our high ticket program. And we say, hey, if you also want results like these, book a call with us. We send like one email a week on that. Yeah. And because email is so powerful, we only have one rep as well, but it books our schedule for the entire week. And then our rep just crushes it and makes a bunch of money. Our customers make a bunch of money. Everybody's happy. And that's why email is so great. Yeah. It's a really simple process. And as long as you have a process, email marketing isn't scary. Because when I say it that way, right? Like, okay, every 2 weeks we send an email about this. Every Saturday we send an email about a YouTube video. And every Sunday we send emails about a sales call. It's like, wow, that's really easy. Instead of saying, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. Well, I just gave you the entire blueprint of how we do it. Yeah. But I'm curious, your business is a bit bigger than ours. What do you do?
Yeah, so what we do, it got super complicated. So I'm just gonna bring it back to like, what would I do if I just started an email list and make it super simple?
There's growing pains.
Yeah. There's two main things that I would do. Okay, the first thing that I would do is there's something called an autoresponder. And what that is every time somebody signs up to your email list, they're going to get a series of emails. Okay, you can make this really simple. You can make like 5 to 10 emails. Here's what I would do. I would think about your customer. I would say, what are the questions, the 5 to 10 questions that I hear every single time I get on a sales call? What are the 5 to 10 things that prevent them from buying? And I would create an email about each one of those things. People are like, well, I don't understand your strategy. Well, I don't understand how this is going to work for me. I don't understand this one part. I don't understand pricing. So you just take an email and you write a little short response to that. And so you're basically going to set up these 5 to 10 emails as your autoresponder. And essentially what these are going to do is as people walk through, or as people opt in, they're going to get the top questions that you hear all the time. They're just going to automatically answer them. and you can send one of these like one a day or one every couple days until they get done with that autoresponder. Okay, so that is all. Like every time someone signs up, they're automatically going to get those emails, and that's going to build a relationship with them. It's going to like get them to know and like and trust you, and it's going to do it all automatically. You know, because your sales, like if you're a sales guy or you're the CEO or whatever, you're doing all the sales calls, or you have a sales guy. I swear to God, they're answering the same questions over and over. So just instead of doing that, just put them all in an autoresponder sequence, right?
Yeah, so. And something that I don't think you said there, but I think is so important for everyone to know is that when you do that, when you handle objections before you pitch, then when it's time to pitch someone,
so much easier.
They're going to rack their brain thinking for reasons to say no, and then they're not going to find any. And then the only logical choice left is to just buy because you already handled all of that. And that's something that we do on our webinars and all these different in our sales videos as well. It's just very powerful pre-framing and objection handling before.
This is the power of marketing, baby.
Yeah, and then people also appreciate your transparency because you brought up possible issues before they even had the chance to ask. You've reassured them that these aren't actually issues, and then they buy your shit. Woo! Let's go. That's Rowdy Boys.
Yeah, that's Rowdy Boys.
Right there. Let's go.
Okay, so cool. So if you have your autoresponder, you know, that 5 to 10 emails, doesn't have to be long or complicated or anything, just 5 or 10 emails, just write them out. You can write them out in a few hours and set them up. So everyone that comes in is going to get that, you know, get that little sequence. Then the second thing I would do is just try to do 1 email per week. If you don't have anything else, I just try to do 1 email per week. You know, like we send 1 email on Tuesdays. And that email could be anything that you want. If you write a new blog post that talks about something, send out that blog post. You know, write an email that says, hey, we just wrote a new blog post on this cool subject. You should go check it out here. Boom, link.
Yeah.
If you want, so you can send out content. At Devin, you send out videos, you know. You can also send out, not really. If you want people to book a call, you can throw those in there. You can say like, hey, I hope you've been enjoying our content because you just received like 10 to the top, you know, answers to help the people on the autoresponder. You're like, hey, if you want some personal help, you should book a call with us. Boom, link. And then you're going to fill up your sales counter like that. If you have a special promotion, you say, hey, this week we're running a promotion. It ends on Friday, but you should check it out now. Boom, send them to your website to buy your stuff. So you can actually make that weekly email anything that you want. It could be valuable. It could be a pitch. It could be book a call. It could be anything. But you can get that consistency in there.
Yeah, as long as it is related to the industry.
Yeah, clearly.
Warning. You never know, man. Like we said, we got to dumb things down. Make sure it's crystal clear.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you know, when I said there's 5 to 10 questions that you hear all the time, but, you know, you might get on another sales call. There's a new question that somebody didn't understand. You can bust out a blog post about that and then email that to the whole list because there's a fraction of those people that are going to be interested in that too, you know? So anyway, point is you have an autoresponder and then you try to do like 1 weekly email and it could be anything that you want.
And a little pro tip too about those questions that you always get. I think you guys have done this. We do it too, but build a knowledge base around those. And that's just like a knowledge base in the context that I'm talking about is, I think I got it from like, what's that guy? Backlinko, Brian Dean.
Okay.
The way he does it. So, you know, we've got our Facebook ads knowledge hub and it just covers everything you need to know about Facebook advertising. And then we only have to send out an email about it once. And that is like every question we've ever got. And then if anybody ever has the audacity to ask me a question again, I don't have to answer it. I can just send them to the knowledge hub.
Oh man, that's such an amazing strategy. We're going to talk about that on another podcast. It's like how content can really power everything. But
just a pro tip, guys.
But yeah, 100%, man. Like the ideal for me as a marketer is take every question that our customers ever have and create a piece of content or a resource that answers that and gains their trust and gets them over that hump or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
and let's just pretend. Okay, this is another off-topic thing. I swear I'll stop going off topic.
Yeah, we're gonna run it back in.
When
sometime.
People do ask you questions, though, and this is a really great way to collect emails. That's why I wanted to say this is one of the most powerful ways, and a lot of software companies do this, but there's constantly people asking questions, and questions you might not expect. And when you create an article about that, it will a lot of other people are asking those questions, as we know, so they're probably Googling that same question. And if you create an article about it, hopefully you'll appear near the top of the results, and then what do? You have an email pop up or something right there, and it's just a really good way to start collecting a lot of random emails from long tail keyword questions. And people are probably like, what the fuck is a long tail keyword?
Like, we'll tell you, just hit that subscribe button, and I will detail everything from a master marketer.
Subscribe, like, comment. If you're on YouTube, do all the good things.
Yeah.
Rate us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I don't know. This is our first podcast. We got to figure out how it works.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've covered most of the things in email. So it's like we've covered, why you need the email list, because it's literally the central crux, from two master marketers. We're telling you right now, if you don't have an email list, you got to do it. Second thing, we told you, how to collect email addresses. Use simple stuff like checklists, PDFs, stuff like that. You can collect them by running Facebook ads. You can collect them by having pop-ups on there.
Facebook groups too.
Facebook groups, anywhere. Just every channel of marketing that you do pretty much is leading in to getting their email address, right?
Yeah, that's the end goal.
After you have their email, once you're on something like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or
ActiveCamping for the win.
ActiveCampaign
MailChimp for losers.
For the win. MailChimp for losers. All right.
Just kidding, guys. It's okay.
You're going to send them, an autoresponder. You set that up, and that's going to develop the relationship automatically. And then for your broadcast emails, you're going to try to do at least like one a week, and it could be anything that you want. It could be webinar invites. It could be a new blog post, a new video, anything like that. And then, just keep recycling that and grow your email list as big as you fucking can.
Yes. And pro tip, guys, another thing that I want to say is this. Do not be scared to sell to your customers via email. Okay.
Yeah. They want to be sold to.
They want to be sold to. If they weren't interested in what it is you're providing, then they would not have signed up. And what most people think is like, well, they're my friends and I want to, create a relationship. I don't want to ruin that. And that's fine. They are your friends. You do care about them. But if you aren't going to sell them, guess what? They're going to start buying from someone else who's not going to treat them as well as you are. So it is your responsibility to sell them and then provide the best fucking product possible and outperform the competition. If you truly believe in what it is that you do and the product that you've created, you should have no shame in ever emailing anyone. That does not make any sense. All that says to me is that you do not believe in your product. So if your shit's good, why the fuck are you scared? Just email them, sell them your stuff. And if it's good, everybody wins. Is that all we've got for today? I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think that was great. So what I want people to do right now, we're trying to figure out who the audience is, what you want to hear about. So whatever platform that you're on, go ahead and hit us up in the comments and let us know what you liked about this. What do you want to hear in the future? Because we can probably talk about anything in the scope of going from $0 to millions of dollars per month, growing email lists of we got 390,000 people on our email list right now. So, I've been there in the gamut, and we're starting out kind of 101 type of stuff. But if you guys want to go deep on other stuff, we can do that too. But either way, hit the subscribe. This is the Rowdy Boys.
Rowdy Boys.
Yeah, and we wanna bring some more fire to you guys. So let's do it.
Yeah, and also you can email me personally. I don't want to give out Clayton's email, but if you have feedback or there's something you want to see on the podcast, feel free to shoot an email to devin@smartapps.com, DEVIN at SMAR7apps.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any feedback, or if you're on YouTube, which is, I think, the only place people will be able to leave comments. Just leave a comment below. Let us know what you want to see.
Yeah, leave a comment on this podcast.
Because we are dying to make good content for you, and we just need to know what it is that you want to see. We can talk about everything that Clayton mentioned. Copywriting is something that I think we're both passionate about. Life, getting in sick shape. We both went on a very physical journey together, from fat POSs to the most ripped rowdy boys in St. Petersburg. So,
Rowdy boys.
Whatever it is, whatever you want to hear, however we can help you in business or life, just let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a fucking 25-star review.
Hell yeah.
Or I guess a 5-star review, because that's probably as high as it goes. All right, Clayton, dude.
All right, man.
Maybe we should high five and at the end of each and every one. Boom,
this was the Rowdy Boys signing off.
We'll do this. We'll probably never do it again. Hey, and now, this bad music. See you guys.